Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Arsenal set out yesterday to the United States of America for their pre-season tour. Of course, they're going to be playing games in Washington, New York, and in Stan Kroenke Stadium in LA. Very fortunate that I'm going to be traveling out today. Actually, after this show, be heading to the airport to fly over there to the United States. And remember, we're going to cover the whole tour. So if you want to find out what's going on with the tour with regards to the team, with regards to the fans, meet some of the fans there over in the States, the place to be is right here on AFTV. We are covering it from top to bottom, and we can't wait. Lots of players on that plane that went over there, that Emirates plane that flew over there. Declan Rice was on the plane, so really excited to see Declan Rice. The American fans are going to get the first glimpse of him, and also Jurriën Timber. Of course, Kai Havertz made his debut last week in that game against Nuremberg, but everybody's going to be really excited to see those signings. So a really, really good look for Arsenal, getting those players in and early for pre-season. However, one player who was not on the plane has sort of set rumours flying all over the place, and conspiracy theories and all kinds of things. Thomas Partey was not on the plane to go to America. Now, Arsenal did say that he's expected to link up with the team next week. There's been some injury issues, etc. Him and Emil Smith-Rowe expected to link up with the team next week, and they made a point of saying that because they didn't say that on all of the players that were missing off of the plane. But it has not stopped the rumours from flowing, and as I said, the theories from flowing out there as well. I spoke about it yesterday that he's been linked with a move to a Saudi club. You know, the rumor from a Saudi journalist is that he's already agreed personal terms. There's the rumors linking him with a move to, of course, to Juventus. Is this a big clue that he's not on that plane, that he is on the move? We're going to have to wait and see. Maybe he does get on the plane, or maybe as he sort of stayed back to help negotiate these deals. Certainly, Arsenal will be looking for around about £50 million for him. They paid 45. They'd like to get more. They know that if Thomas Partey goes, they're going to have to get a replacement. But the rumors flying around today that, you know, this is a big indication and big clue that he could be leaving Arsenal. And then if he does leave, who do Arsenal go for? Is it Romeo Lavia? Romeo Lavia again linked very heavily to Arsenal, although I do think, as I've said in the past, Liverpool are ahead of them. It does look like Liverpool are definitely going to lose Fabinho. Looks like he's on his way to Saudi Arabia, and they're going to get around about £40 million for him. And then they'll probably use that money and get Romeo Lavia. But who knows? We have to wait and see. But Arsenal could reignite their interest in Romeo Lavia. And as I said on yesterday's show, Caicedo seems to be back on Arsenal's radar. Fichages, I think that's how you pronounce it. They're a publication based over in Spain, I think. They're saying that Arsenal are considering making an offer for Caicedo if Thomas Partey leaves. Now, we know that Chelsea have been leading this race now for quite some time. It's been all about Chelsea since the start of the transfer window. Brighton won about £80 million. Chelsea have stalled on that. They don't really want to pay that. Brighton would love a bidding war with Arsenal getting involved, but they're looking for around about 80 million plus. If Thomas Partey leaves and they got about 50 million, is this now the obvious move for Arsenal? And apparently Arsenal did, you know, go and have a word with Caicedo's representatives when it was looking like the Declan Rice deal could be in a little bit of bother. Could they return back for Caicedo? Gonna be very interesting to see how this one develops. That these are big stories that are going to be going throughout the transfer window. Another player who was on the plane was following Balogun. Of course, now United States international. Going to be a lot of interest in him, but he is starting to look like he's going to leave the club. Inter Milan heavily linked with a move for him yesterday. Of course, Inter Milan was set to sign Romelu Lukaku, but that deal has fallen through. They were going to spend about 40 million on Lukaku. It's fallen through that deal. Lukaku's returned back to Chelsea. He's not on their pre-season tour either. So what does that tell you about that one? 40 million, that was less than half of what they paid for him. But AC Milan and Juventus also interested, as well as Inter Milan. But Inter Milan seem to be right at the forefront. They're desperate for a striker. They could be selling Vlahovic to PSG. And Arsenal are going to want around £50 million and no less. And, if they sell Balogun, they're going to want to reinvest that money. So let's keep an eye and see how that situation pans out. Another player who wasn't on that plane, we're picking them up by players who weren't on that plane, was Nicolas Pepe. Not on the plane, hasn't travelled, is not going to figure in pre-season. There were no indications from Arsenal about him joining up with the team. He's said to have a slight injury, but again, Arsenal looking to sell him. There's not really been many suitors coming for him yet. Arsenal would love one of the big Saudi teams to come in for him as well. So that they could collect. Everybody's dreaming of the Saudi teams now to sort of come in and take on some of their dead wood. But no bids yet, but definitely Nicolas Pepe is not going to feature for Arsenal this season, and they would like him to leave. And Sambi Lokonga is another player who didn't make the plane. We saw last week that he didn't go to Germany, that he said he had a slight injury he was trying to overcome, but he said slight injury, little issue. Hasn't gone on the pre-season tour. And again, another big indicator that he's going to be leaving the club, linked heavily with a move to Burnley. That seems to carry a lot of weight. So he's not on the plane either. Cedric not on the plane. A few other players not on that plane that look like they're definitely going to be leaving. What about this player, Bitello? Spoken about him now for quite a few days, and how Arsenal, the rumours coming out of Brazil is that Arsenal are preparing a bid for Bitello, the midfielder. They want to bring him to the Emirates. The Grêmio president, that's the team he plays for over there in Brazil, spoke about it yesterday, and he said that Arsenal have not made a bid yet. He said yet. He also went on to say that there's a lot of different teams watching him. That's always a good thing to say, and you try to drive the price up. But definitely does seem like there's interest from Arsenal in Bitello. But the Grêmio president saying that no bid yet from Arsenal. So we wait to see how that one turns out. A player that Arsenal are not going to be getting is Xavi Simons. I've been talking about him since the start of the transfer window. The PSV player heavily linked with a move to Arsenal, but he will not be joining Arsenal because he's returning back to PSG. Remember, I told you that PSG sold him to PSV last season, but they had this buyback clause in there where they could buy him back for £5.1 million. They've activated it, and Xavi Simons will be returning to PSG. From PSV, he's just switching out the V for a G. He's going back, so he will be returning. Arsenal also linked again today with Moussa Diaby. I said that Arsenal renewed their interest in the player, according to some outlets. We know that Aston Villa have already bid £35 million for Moussa Diaby. That was turned down. Bayer Leverkusen looking for around about 50. Could Arsenal, who've shown a lot of interest in this player, make a move for him? Again, there's been no movement from Arsenal on this Diaby, bid. But as I said, various outlets saying today that Arsenal are renewing interest in him. So let's see how that one turns out. And where will Kieran Tierney end up? This is another saga. He is on the plane. He has travelled, but still being linked with a move away. Still Newcastle links for £30 million. Possibility of a loan to Celtic. I saw a note that Brendan Rodgers said never say never. I don't know. It seems unlikely to me because Arsenal, if Kieran Tierney goes, they want to cash in. They need money back, Arsenal. They spent a lot of money, £208 million. Can't just be letting players going for free on little cheap loans and stuff like that. Arsenal would prefer the cash. So let's see how those all develop out. But we are heading out to the United States of America. Don't worry. Transfer Daily will be here for you every single day, coming live from the States. Looking forward to meeting all the fans out there. And remember, you can read about the stories on our website. You can also download this on all of your streaming services and listen to us. If you're taking like a plane like me, it's ideal. Thanks for watching the show today, and we will be back tomorrow. Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.